Hey, you guys, this is Mr. Waltz. I'm going to show you how to make an exploded view of your dice assembly. And exploded views, the purpose here is to show how the pieces go together and come apart. You can also use them to make animations. We're primarily going to use them here just to make our assembly drawing, but I'll show you how to do the animation too, just for fun. So you go on your project, find your assembly, open that up, and by default you'll be in the design workspace. Now we've learned there's other workspaces. We've used the manufacturer workspace recently. There's also one called animation, and this will let you animate anything you make. So I'm going to go here, click animation. We'll switch to animation. Now, what we're in here is basically a movie. And down at the bottom, there's a thing called a storyboard, and there's a time scale going across. And you can put events in here, things that happen, and make them happen at different times. Down here is your storyboard. You can see we have storyboard one. You could make more storyboards if you want. We don't need to, though, for this assignment. One thing that we do need to take care of first is the camera. And so by default, it records your camera. So if you change your view or zoom in and out, it'll actually change um, the way the animation goes. It'll record that basically. So the first thing we want to do is turn off the camera recording. So up here, there's an icon. It looks like a camera. You can click view and just click it, and it will turn camera recording off. And for this exploded view, that's what we want, is we want it off. And you can see over here it says view not recording, so do that first. um, then what I want to do is make sure I'm in my home view, and you can zoom in or out if you want. This animation timeline, you can drag this or you can minimize it if you want. um, and now what we want to do is basically disassemble our cube, and we're going to do it in the reverse order that we put it together. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little because I need a little bit of room. And the tool we're going to use to disassemble is called transform. It's right up here. It's a lot like when you insert a part or move or copy a part. It's the same kind of interface. You click that thing, transform. Then you go down here and click on the piece you want to transform. So I'm going to do the top piece first. So I click on that, and you can see there's arrows and there's little rotate tools. It's just, the standard tools for when we're moving something around in Fusion. So I'm going to grab this top arrow and drag up. And what I want to do is drag this far enough up so that it is above any of the other pieces and not overlapping. So you can see right here, I'm actually overlapping the back and the left side. I don't want that. I want to go a little bit above. I want there to be, daylight or white space between the parts. So that's how far you need to go. And you could type in a number if you wanted. You can go as far as you want. Generally, you want to keep it pretty tight though, because the further you explode the pieces, the more room it's going to take up in our drawing that we're going to make later. And so we don't want to make it too big. So I usually go just until I have a little bit of daylight and then leave it right there. Over here, there's the transform components. We can control everything, the direction and numbers and all that. One thing we do want to turn on is trail line visibility. And this tool will make a little trail line, which is like a little dashed line that shows how this part exploded. And you can see a little line shows up there, and you'll see more of these as we go. So make sure trail line visibility is on, click OK. And there it is. So now it's got that transform. Now, what it does is down here at the bottom, you have this animation timeline. What it did is added that in the timeline. Excuse me. So you could see that the top has been exploded, and there it is right there. There's a transform, and you could see you could edit that action if you wanted. You could right click on it and edit it, um, and change the distance, turn the trail on or off. So if you ever make mistakes, you can go in here, you can edit or delete any transforms that you do. You also can drag them side to side in the timeline. I wouldn't do that yet, but you can change the order that they occur. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is keep transforming. We want to keep taking this thing apart. So I'm going to do another transform. I'm going to take the back off. So I click on the back. There's the arrows. Make sure my trail is on, and I'm going to drag this out the back, and then make sure it's not overlapping the other pieces. You can see I'm still overlapping the top, and if I get to about there, then it looks pretty good. They're not touching anymore. I'm going to click OK. You can see now the back is in my timeline. Both these transforms are happening at the same time. You can actually play the video if you want. Down here, there's a little play button. You can click that, and you can see they both transform at the same time. Cool. Then we're going to keep transforming. Let's take the left side off. So I'll click transform, click on the left side, trail line, turn on, drag this over here. Again, just looking until I'm clear. I'm not overlapping anything. There's no problem with the top, but the front is blocking it. I go a little bit right there. Now I'm not blocking the front anymore. And I can click OK. Click transform again. Let's do the side this time. I'm going to drag this one down. This one's easy. You don't have to go very far to get this one clear. That looks pretty good, 1.5 inches. Um, and you can see I made a mistake there. I'll fix that in a second. Uh, I click the transform tool again. I'll grab the front here, turn on my trail line, and then drag this one forward. You can see it wants to overlap the left, so I have to pull it out until I'm past the left. 1.4 looks pretty good. Now, if you were paying attention, you noticed I made a mistake here when I transformed the right side. I did not put a trail line. So let me show you how you can fix that. So you'll notice if I put my mouse over this here, click on it, in the timeline down here, it highlights that part. Okay, and so I can go to the transform for that part, right click, edit action, and then I can turn the trail line on, and you can see that it shows up. And so it just kind of shows where the parts go. That's what the trail lines are for. They're really nice. You can watch the video now. You can hit play. You can see it explodes. There's probably some way to reverse it. I'm not hip to that yet. And then if you want to make them go one at a time, it's kind of fun to do this. You can drag the actions. It's not something you have to do, but you could drag these. And what you'll see is they snap. They'll stick once you drag them past each other. So I'm going to drag them all out like this. So that one happens and the next one happens and the next one happens and the next one happens. And this makes it look kind of cool. And then you can play the video and you can see the back comes out, side comes out, other side, front, top, back, side, front. And that's what it does now. So that's kind of fun to do. Anyways, when you get to this point, you've got this thing here in this view, and it's nicely exploded. None of the parts are overlapping each other. That's the biggest thing here. And then you have your trail lines. Hit save, and then go on to the next video, and I will show you how to create an assembly drawing that uses this exploded view.